Welcome back to What Would It Cost? Today we're here with three people from the McLay team, and we're excited to host them and get into some awesome conversation with them as we do on a day-to-day. We have the pleasure of working with them. We're here with Anthony, Sue, and Vinny Bats.
That's right, sir. That's right.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. First
Thank
time
you.
for the two of you, and you're a veteran now, I think.
You guys can't get rid of me at this point.
Fifth appearance.
Yeah. Next time I'll be on that side.
Yeah, exactly. You take over.
Just take over.
Just host. But yeah, no, we're excited because, we just came off somewhat of a start of a hot year to look like a cold year towards the end. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of changes for 2023 now. And I'd love to get your inputs on what you guys are thinking for 2023. We got the foreign buyer ban. What's the opportunity looking like out there for first-time home buyers or investors? And you guys are dealing with a lot of pre-construction projects. So, I'll give you guys the floor and start it off.
I think the key word that you said is opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of opportunity out there, and people are seeing the headlines, market crashing, market cooling, market correction. And then you're on the flip side, you're also seeing headlines, market's picking up, market's doing this. There's so much confliction in the media. Mm-hmm. People don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, when you look at the numbers and you look at what's actually going on, there's a ton of opportunity in this market, right? And just like you said, between pre-construction, between a lot of things, and what we're seeing is people trying to capitalize on the opportunity out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's so true, like you said, there's a lot of fear mongering. Even, talking about the stats is a lot of people don't realize it's not real time. I was having a conversation with one of your team members the other day. It's like 3, 4, 5 months behind. You know what I mean? So they're raising these rates. They're saying, oh, nothing's happening. Well, it's like, it's not instantaneously. We got to see what's going to happen. We haven't even seen inventory come in the market yet from people that are truly maybe are struggling with their payments. Mm-hmm. So there's still that there's not that flux of inventory yet, not that true realization of is inflation, is it cooling, is it settling down, is it going back up? So I think it's just a lot of these big headlines saying rate hike, especially with the new one coming up next. Yeah, everybody's all worried about it, but again, there's so much opportunity. There's the prices are coming down, not many bidding wars, and then a lot of these pre-construction opportunities as well.
Absolutely. I think another reason we're seeing opportunity is, like you said, the lack of competition. Yeah. Right. You have the opportunity to negotiate with sale price in a lot of ways, and when you get that sale price down, you're saving in other areas like land transfer tax. It's a huge save. Down payment, you're saving. So yeah, people's hands are tied in terms of rates, but is it temporary? We hope so. Mm-hmm. And there's other opportunities out there.
Right.
Yeah, and we talked about this, like we talk about it on an ongoing basis in regards to the breaking in price. Market drops 20-25%, $1 million assets now $750,000, $800,000. A lot less of a down payment, a lot less of a mortgage to carry as well, right? So Mikey does the math all the time. He's like, "Yep, still cheaper now than it was back then to carry a mortgage, right?" Yeah. So really, it's the lens that you're looking from.
Yeah, from I think one of the biggest things is everyone's always waiting to time the market. Especially first-time buyers that are not as seasoned as like these big-time investors. They're waiting for the right time and that perfect time. But what is the right time? You know what I mean? So especially now in this declining market. Well, it is a declining market. Like you just said, Nick, a property, let's say a 1-bedroom in the core, downtown core, it's $650 more or less. In the peak January 2022, let's say it was $750. So let's say there was about $100K drop. It's a great time if you're moving, to move up in the market because the gap between the asset classes is shrinking. Right. And that's the conversation that our team has been having. It's a great time to move up because 50 to 100K loss on a 1-bedroom condo, maybe that townhouse that you wanted to move to dropped 120K, or that detached dropped 200K. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's all about your perspective and, the long-term goal of your client.
Absolutely. And I think to your point, like, what's the sweet spot? Or the right timing. I for me personally, I don't think there is. I think it's what's the right timing for you, what's the right property for you. Because everybody's like, oh, look, my property shot up in value. Great. What are you going to go buy? Something that shot up in value as well. Yeah. Unless you could sell that, go live in someone's basement for a little bit, hold on, then that's perfect timing. But other than that, to your point, if it's coming down, your property came down, but this is the opportunity for maybe yours didn't drop as much and you could upsize for a lot cheaper than you could before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're buying for the long term. Like I think it's fair to say that 90% of people are not buying for a 1 year time horizon. They're looking at a 5-10 year time horizon, right? So if you're trying to time the bottom of the market, we obviously don't know when that bottom is until prices start climbing up.
Exactly.
So I think the next kind of 0 to 6 months is really going to be that sweet spot, at least in my opinion. I think the moment the Bank of Canada comes out and they have an interest rate announcement and they say we're not raising rates, I think that's going to be a quick uptick in buyer activity. And I think right away that's going to spur some competition. Prices will hold steady, and over time, I think that competition is what's going to have prices slowly start to trend back upwards. And I think we kind of already saw that. I think it was the fifth or sixth hike when the common narrative was that they were going to raise it a full point. And instead they came out at 50 basis points. Right away, we saw an uptick in activity. And it's just like when a company announces their earnings. Right. And there's that positive outlook with the stock. So I think it's the exact same thing. I think the moment we have that announcement and it's not what people expect, I think that's going to kind of flip the switch on the opposite side of the coin.
That's a good point, because all the past announcements, the past handful of them, they've put downwards pressure on the market. So that one uptick, and then she starts to trend back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Very
Everyone's waiting for that bottom, right? So as soon as we see it pivot, that's when we're going to see a lot of people come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Right now, I keep saying the word of the year is kind of waiting, right? Everyone's waiting for the bottom of the market, waiting for the market to turn to sell. Whatever your goal is, everyone seems to be waiting. And in my opinion, kind of the general consensus of our team is that, not everyone, right? Everyone's different, but a lot of people shouldn't necessarily be waiting, because depending on what you're waiting for, now might actually be the right time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, we talk about that as well, where it's like people are like revving their engines at the start line. They're just waiting, and then let's all move in, and then that's when you'll see a little bit of stimulation for sure. Yeah,
exactly.
Great points.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said too about, obviously there's been a huge slowdown in buyer activities these last few months, and we're hearing on the flip side with pre-con a lot of projects being canceled or being postponed altogether. Well, we already have this massive supply issue where we desperately need every bit of inventory that's coming to market. Now we've got this slowdown in developer activity where we're not adding the same amount of units that we typically would, that we desperately need. Now 2024, 2025 comes around. We've dropped our rates. All the buyers who've been on the sidelines waiting to pull the trigger are now coming out to play, and we have less inventory than what we would have had. So I think these next few, maybe year, 2 years, I think I think our market is poised to see explosive growth. And I really do believe that this 2023 is going to be the year of the deal for the savvy investor has the audacity to pull that trigger and make that move.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want you guys to talk a little bit about that Christmas party, which was badass. The sign downtown, the big billboard that you guys have now, it's the full team. The community initiatives that you guys have. I received an email from Sue with you wanting to light up your whole network in regards to contractors and
absolutely.
lawyers and brokers, and just how you guys are so young, but you have an awesome community and family feel that we got when we were at that Christmas party, and are continuing to experience and see the McLay team really evolving into more of this big family unit where the spotlight's being spread all across, and you guys are just all like young rising stars, right? And it's exciting to see, right? So I want to talk a little bit about building that culture.
Yeah,
right?
I think at our core, our team is a family, right? I mean, if you look very closely, me and Tyler are obviously related. Our mom's part of the team as well, so there's that family element. I've known Anthony since I was 2 years old, my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Vince have there's a lot of connections, right? We all did karate together. Christian and I went to Schulich together. There's a lot of little connections within the team, and then just spending a lot of time together. We're all obviously have that common passion for real estate, and then between common interest and shared experience, that's how bonds are formed. So I think fundamentally our team is just realistically very close. We're very close knit. We have a lot of shared interest, and we enjoy each other's company, right? And I think that comes through in the videos we put out and the marketing material we put out. And when we work together, it's not difficult because we all really, really, really care about this industry at its core, right? And then because of that, because we care so deeply about the real estate industry, I think that then transpires to the community element, right? We actually care about our clients having the resources. If their lock breaks, who do they call? If they need a mortgage broker, who do they call, right? Their garage door breaks, who do they call? Things like that. We want to be there for them. Not just, here's the keys to your new house, call me next time you need me, 5-10 years. That's not our style, right? We want to be there for them throughout their home ownership experience and then beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
To Sue's point too about just kind of dropping the key, like we definitely don't take a transaction mentality. This is a business, and just like you guys are doing a very good job of it, at least it looks like from the outside looking in. We want our people to feel that warm welcome that you felt at the Christmas party. We want them to feel like we're not just going to drop the key. We're going to walk your dog when we list your house if we absolutely need to. Vince actually did that. It's white glove service. And,
absolutely.
It comes with the territory, right?
Yeah. Forming those long-lasting relationships, and they know that loyalty's there, and they're like, I got your back no matter what it is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. It's a scary process, right? Buying a home for a lot of people. So I think holding their hand a little bit, it's part of the job, right? Sometimes they need a pat on the back. Sometimes they need someone to say, you're doing the right thing. Right. And whether that's through showing them the numbers or just simply walking their dog and making them feel more secure, that's what we're here for.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially times like
that's
this.
legendary.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you.
Do tell did the dog take a shit on the wall?
Yeah, so actually I was gonna say, Anthony said that's white glove service. For me, that was actually a plastic glove service. But you know what? It worked out. It worked out in the end. Clients happy, and
absolutely.
Just adding on to their points, like great points from these guys here. But over time in the industry, like you coming from the nightlife industry, it's one thing to know about real estate and be awesome at it and know your stuff and help your clients, but at the end of the day, I think it's a relationship business.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. Just like what you guys do, it's a relationship business. And like Sue said, yes, we're realtors, we're salespeople, but sometimes we have to be therapists. Sometimes we have to, be counselors or dog walkers or whatever the case may be. And that step, that extra little bit, is going to differentiate you from the rest of the people, and clients remember that. Clients will remember that, and that's the most important thing. Like,
absolutely.
For your clients. That's what it's all about.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said.
To kind of build on that too, like I think it's easy to get caught up in the glitz and the glamour, and especially nowadays, but this job at its core, we're salespeople, right? We're here to buy and sell real estate and help people buy and sell real estate. So for the clients, they also need to remember they need someone who's in their corner at all times, but that they can also negotiate and know the market. They know what they're doing. They know the rules, regulations. They're not going to get their client in hot water because they want to turn a quick buck or put on a cool suit, right? We're not here to sell ourselves all the time, even though, it's part of the job. We got to sell ourselves, but fundamentally we're here to sell people's homes.
Exactly. And I think especially in times like this where the market's taking that shift, it's not so easy to sell homes, to get listings, to get buyers. I think it's those little key points that stand out. Like you said, it's not just understanding the real estate. I feel like that's 50% of it. It's like us.
Absolutely.
Understanding the mortgage is 50%. It's being that people person, providing that white glove, the hospitality, caring. It's the other 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we were just talking to Mr. Miniachi, who's a total gentleman, and he gave us a stat that the last quarter, 11% of realtors in the GTA dropped off.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
See a huge drop off for sure.
And that's a big chunk in one quarter, right? So building those relationships and really staying top of mind with these people because of that above and beyond service that you provide and relationship you have, that's what's going to hold you through, these times and just have people feeling really, really good about having that relationship with
Exactly.
them, right?
I mean, 50% of agents don't do more than one deal a year, and that's including leases.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So
including leases.
leases.
Wow.
Including leases.
Counts as a transaction.
Holy.
So when you're out there picking your realtor, the market's definitely saturated. I think it's important for people to ask questions, interview agents, right? And make sure that they're working with someone that isn't just putting on a fancy suit, showing up at the table and, spitting out what they heard on CP24 the night before.
Yeah.
Right? They're actually in the trenches, like we are, looking at the stats out at the pre-con launches, and we actually have a grasp on what's going on day to day, hour by hour in this market, especially in a market like Toronto. It's so dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you saw it at the Christmas party that our group hosted. All those people, some of them, the last transaction that, anyone on our team did maybe was 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But when they came to the party, it's like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how's it going?
You got that feeling,
But
man.
the reason is because it probably was just yesterday, because we keep in contact with these people.
Yeah.
Even if they, let's say you bought a house last year. Like, it's only been a year, but I'm still going to call you to let you know hey, up the street, so and so just sold for this much. You made this much this year.
Nice. That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
have a good day. Like just little touch points.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got that. You really got that feeling there from that Christmas party, especially.
Mm-hmm.
But even like that you guys move together as one unit. I feel like, and everyone probably brings like a different bone to the table. Hey guys, let this change. Or this is what's going on. Or this is who so and so is. Like I feel no ego in the room with you guys.
100%.
Right? And,
No,
Yeah.
none,
and you guys are kind of like I look at it as one. I truly do. I'm
Yeah.
saying that, and I truly mean it. The way you guys market yourself, the way you guys host your guests, the way you guys throw bones each other's way. It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes from our team leader Ty. It's really a top down. He's shout out Ty, selfless guy, no ego, really wants to. He's kind of instilled in us the same belief that it is a saturated market, 80,000 agents in Ontario, and we want to be that step above. And he's kind of really made sure that we all kind of live up to that same standard, and doing it in a way without any ego, and in a way that it's team. It's not it's really his team.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of Tyler's favorite sayings actually is yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. Right. So an ego isn't going to help you in tomorrow's transactions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Yeah, for
really
sure.
important.
Well said.
Yeah, my favorite that Nick always says, you're only as good as your last transaction.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So you did a great job. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah. On to the
Good one.
next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So now to go to the next, big headline, foreign buyer ban.
Oof.
Oh boy.
It's a big one.
Tell the audience
They were
about
ready
it.
for it.
Well, because you keep hearing
That's
it.
a
It's
curveball.
like every other headline. Everybody's an expert now. Foreign buyer, but not a lot of people actually know what that means. So take it away. Explain it.
Well, I think last year, it's 2023. So last year, around this time, everyone loved being like, oh, foreign buyers. This is because foreign buyers,
Yeah.
this is what's going on. It's
Exactly.
the foreign buyers. Is it though? Foreign buyers make up less than 4% of buyers in the marketplace, right? So they're a very small piece of the pie. And I think in a way, it's the government's way of putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg.
Yeah.
We have issues far beyond foreign buyers hiking up real estate prices in Ontario or Canada, right? So banning foreign buyers is not the solution. Is it going to maybe make a slight difference? Personally, I don't think so. But if that's the way they want to market it and pull stats, that's one way of doing it. But essentially what the foreign buyer ban is doing is it's barring anyone, commercial enterprises and anyone who's not a Canadian resident. There are certain exceptions from buying residential real estate for a 2-year period.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the media's done a really, really good job of making it seem like the foreign buyers are the be all end all. They're the reason we have this massive
huge.
supply issue.
Huge.
But to Sue's point, not only do they make less than 4%, non-resident owners, not only do they make up less than 4% of owners in Toronto, but listen to this stat. Of that 4%, that also accounts for Canadians living abroad. So it is a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of the market that's actually buying property as a foreign buyer.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think it's really just purely a political play to take the onus, take the blame off of our government for the red tape around building. That's a big factor in the supply issue, and putting that onus onto these non-voters essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone you talk to now that's, not really a real estate person, they're like, oh, foreign buyer ban, you see how this is going to help us. Like, you
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at the stats. You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah,
stats are
4%.
so great. And also like just being knowledgeable about, the market and what our market really consists of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So will it make a huge difference? We don't have a crystal ball, but it's very unlikely,
Right.
like Sue said.
I think if anything, it's a big loss because there was also with the foreign buyers came a huge tax that they paid.
Yeah.
So where's that money come
Yeah,
from
sure.
now? From us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because now there's loopholes, of course, around it. So they're laughing at us, saying, "Well, look, now we could buy with the tax discount."
Yeah. Yeah.
Even just
yeah.
the sentiment that comes with that kind of shows the world that Canada's not wanting
Yeah.
Yeah.
foreign money. Like I think that's to your point. I don't think it's a good thing in any kind of avenue.
Yeah, we're saying
Yeah.
we want to welcome in all these immigrants, but
100%.
we're not looking to
But
open
don't
up
give us
to
your
money.
foreign buyers.
Yeah.
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 Definitely not the right perception we want to be giving
They're
out.
good marketers.
Very good.
Who's
Yes,
heading
sir.
off to marketing company?
You should have them on. What would it cost?
Let's sign them.
Let's get them on the
Put them on
podcast.
one
They
Got to
sent
like
everyone
that.
spinning with BS.
Yeah.
No, but it's so true, because even on the episode we did have with Ty and Daniel Fausch, we were talking about, outside markets where everybody's always complaining, oh, Toronto's so expensive, Toronto's so expensive. It's not at all. Look at New York City.
Yeah.
Look at LA. We're far from it, and now you're saying, okay, cut all the foreign buyers as well. It's like it's to your point. They're stunting our growth.
Yeah.
I totally feel, yeah.
For sure. For sure. Just adding on to that point. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just adding on to that point there. One day we might just get there though. Like look at the New York.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a city of renters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, I mean, I don't know too much about New York stats, but look at a 1-bedroom for rent there versus in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's why now, going back to the point, getting in the market now, while it's more attainable.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Versus 5, 6, 7 years from now, when a studio apartment might just be $1 million in the core.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's what Ty said when he was here. He's like, zoom out, look at the landmass, look at how underdeveloped we are. Look at something like the New York subway station, and then ours is that.
Yeah. When you look at our transit
We're so
alone,
underdeveloped.
it looks like a joke. Like it looks like you're kidding. No, I think especially too, like Toronto's so untapped. The potential in Toronto is so untapped, like Tyler said. Too, right? And when you look at New York City, the rent of a studio 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan is $4,000 a month, usually north of $4,000, right? Toronto has exponential amount of room to grow, and a lot of people like to say pinpoint New York, LA, Miami, like these big well-known cities. It's not just those cities. Like Washington is far beyond Toronto, and it's not even a market that gets talked about as much.
I
right?
didn't know that.
Yeah, their real estate prices are crazy, right? So Toronto has a lot of room to grow. Not only we have 50% of cranes in North America, right? We have more cranes than any other city in North America. Huge stat. We're the second largest financial hub and the third largest tech hub in North America, right? Everyone is gravitating toward Toronto, not just immigrants, but companies, everyone, right? When immigrants come in, where do they want to live?
Yeah.
Realistically, not Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
They want to live in Toronto, right?
exactly.
Or Ontario, right? So we have this huge pull, and the demand is not going away.
Right.
It simply isn't.
Yeah. 70% of all immigrants go to Ontario.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
out
right.
of Canada. So to go to your point, they're focusing on here.
Yeah.
People gotta zoom out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People gotta zoom out.
And these immigrants are not like uneducated people that we're bringing to our country. These are smart, educated people that are going to add to our talent pool, add skilled labor that we desperately need. These are people from the sciences, the math, technology. These are people that are going to contribute to our economy and that have the money to buy property. So when people say like prices in Toronto have to come down, like wages are just not keeping up, like it makes sense logically. But if you look at things on a macro scale, people have money and people are finding ways. Like on our team of 9 people, it's a very small sample size. And I could say I've seen more than a handful of examples of no grandma and grandpa giving them a couple $100,000 to put down 20, 30, 40, 50% on a townhouse in Kleinberg.
Right.
Like that happens. Or the 2 families putting money together to buy a condo in Toronto.
Absolutely.
Like people are finding ways to come up with the money.
Yeah.
And I think that's just going to be a catalyst for future growth.
Absolutely. And I think even going back to what we were talking about before, about the right timing, it's like, zoomed in, there is no right timing. It's whatever's right for you. But zoom out, I think it's the right time now.
Yeah.
Because when it's a long-term game.
Exactly.
It's gone as last year, 2 years ago, where it's like, let me buy this place for $800,000. I'm going to flip it for 1.2. It's just park your ass in there, get it rented,
It's a long-term
get it going.
goal.
It's a long-term goal. Because to your point, so we're so underdeveloped, and that property's going to appreciate so much over the next 10, 15, 20 years for sure.
Yeah. I remember when Precon in Vaughan, for example, were selling for like $400,000 for a 1-bedroom. And people thought it was absurd. People thought that was so high for Vaughan to be selling for a 1-bedroom condo. And we had a lot of clients, they were so close, and they went, you know what? No, thanks. I just can't justify it. And now I can't tell you how many people have called us and said, I wish I bought that condo in Vaughan because now it's worth $650.
I wish I bought 3.
I wish I bought,
Me too.
exactly.
Some of them are going for $1,200 a square foot. It's nuts.
Yeah. And now people are saying the same thing. Oh no, prices are a little bit too high. Can't justify it. in 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, right, down the line, because there's a long-term hold, they're going to be kicking themselves that they didn't buy now. Right? You're always going to see that remorse down the line when you see what could have been.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's a lot easier to move up in the market once you're an owner.
Once you're in the market.
Once you're in the market. Exactly. And to my point there, the first property that you buy, Ty said this before, he always says this, it's a great point. You don't have to love it. It's not going to be your dream home.
It shouldn't be your dream home.
Realistically.
Yeah, exactly.
Realistically, though, it's not going to be your dream home, right? But let it appreciate naturally. You know what I mean? In the city of Toronto, year over year, we always see appreciation, you know? Wait 5-10 years, you know, you could sell whatever, pull equity, and then move up an asset class from that condo to the town, from the town to a semi to a detached, or whatever the case may be. You know, but the key thing is to get in there while it's a good opportunity.
It's educating clients, like saying, like, you know, I had clients last week, we were talking, and it's, but do you think it's a little high? It's the right time. They were buying a rental property. I said, guys, this is the highest the rental market's been for the last couple of years. You guys will know better than I would.
Absolutely.
I said, you're going to have a high mortgage payment, but it actually was, the rent was going to cover the mortgage payment.
Wow.
So you're still covering, which is rare right now.
Yeah.
The property's going to appreciate. So I said, what are you looking for? A flip? No, they're like, we're good where we are. So I said, buy it, hold on, and just keep renting it out. Because again, it's all relative. It's like, the mortgage rates are up, but rent is up. We got 1.5 million immigrants coming in. Where are they going to live?
Yeah.
They got to rent.
Yeah, in October, rent was up 24% year over year.
Exactly.
Which was insane.
It's insane.
The rental market's insane.
Basement's going for $3,000.
Nuts.
Oh, yeah.
That's what people have to focus on too when they're trying to build that portfolio. It's like you want to buy low, right? Sell high or hold, in this case for real estate, but that's bringing up the cap rates. When the rent's going up and prices are going down, that's the sexiest thing for any investor, right?
Of course.
So it's like, again, right, to strengthen the point on when to get in, right? If you feel that it's someone bottomed out, make the move, right? Tap some equity and go grab a couple pieces. And to go to your point, to amazing point, I love that in regards to the passing on of the wealth from the baby boomers and the silent generation. It's like, guys, we've got to adjust our sales, different times. We're letting in some new immigrants. Everyone's having problem finding good laborers out there and people that want to work. So let the immigrants, you know, be those people. I know my parents and grandparents were when they immigrated here.
Exactly.
Right? They built their way up. But now that they all have that equity, right? Different times. Maybe back then they could have, with one full-time job, I don't know how that no frills save up for a down payment to buy a house. Now that that's not a case, well, what's the alternate solution? You guys built all this wealth through equity and the appreciation of the land, right? Simply an early inheritance maybe makes more sense nowadays than it did before, so that the younger generation can get into the market. It did them right. It's going to do their kids right. So great point with that too, right? Just different times, right?
Yeah.
But nothing to get scared of, just something to adjust to, understand it for what it is, and get on the right side of the tide, right?
100%.
So,
100%.
Yeah. And what's the outlook now in pre-construction? Because everybody's worried about that, because you hear a lot of projects are getting canceled or being postponed. But we were seeing with a developer yesterday who's telling me, you know, cost of materials just plummeting right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the media loves to sell bad news, right?
Yeah.
They love the negativity. They like to post about the canceled projects, the bad builders, the bad this, the bad that. That's what they focus on. But I think behind the scenes, it's a very different story. And we're seeing a lot of demand in the pre-construction segment, and a lot of people still very interested in that type of product.
Good.
And there's still launches happening now more than ever. And I think we can all speak to this. Builders most important, because you are seeing those headlines, right? Builders pulling out, horror stories. If you're investing with a good reputable builder, those are the projects that we push. We don't push every project under the sun. There's simply too many. We only push the projects that we ourselves would actually invest in.
Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Which again weeds out the developers that shouldn't have been in the game from the start.
100%.
When it was too easy for them to make money.
Yeah.
The same way it was for realtors that flocked to the industry.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, let's push them out. Let's do a little bit of a cleanse here, and then back on pace with the developers and the builders that know what they're doing and how to erect these buildings and how to do right by everyone that's involved in the project. We're caught in one right now ourselves with a project where we took a whole commercial floor and we're going through the motions, and we're cool and we're chill about it because we're investors and we get it, right? But it's just like, this guy needs to get weeded out because he doesn't have the credentials. He didn't put up, you know, the buildings that a lot of other guys put up that would have got this done for a song and a dance, and it was a little it's a little mid-rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
big, like solid developers and builders, they would have ate that alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It takes a sophisticated
they would have done that
builder.
in their sleep.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
guy couldn't get it off the ground. It's like, all right, get it, but this needs to happen. You
Yeah.
have to get weeded out, and we got to be working with the industry's best again, right?
But no, the demand is
Yeah.
definitely there. Like I think.
Demand is definitely there. I'll tell you a quick story about a
Yeah.
project. I just sold a house, a pre-construction house in Paris, Ontario, just outside Brantford.
Yeah.
So to the media's point about just market absolutely plummeting and just total meltdown, really not the case, especially again with those good projects with the reputable builders. Not only are the reputable builders still building, but they typically have the deep enough pockets to offer these wicked incentives that are getting people attracted and getting the buyers out of the woodworks. And a perfect example is this project. They were releasing 40 lots of detached homes in towns in Paris, Ontario. Get their sales office, the sales were going to happen in person. So not kind of like the post-COVID stuff that everything was done online. You submit your worksheets. The public's none the wiser of who gets the allocation. It was all in person, first come, first serve. Saturday at 12 p.m., I knew demand was going to be nuts. I got there at 7:30 in the morning, waited almost 6 hours in line for my client in the freezing cold. And there is hundreds, I kid you not, hundreds of people trying to secure one of only 40 lots.
Wow.
You had to show up with your $30,000 bank draft in hand. Everyone had it ready to go. So there's a huge line, couple hundred people. Then they come out on the sales office on the microphone. They're watching us through cameras. They see it's absolute chaos. And they're like, okay, we're going to come out there. We're going to give everybody worksheets. You got to fill out your worksheet, give us your $30,000 bank draft, your photo ID, and your business card. Then we're going to decide who gets what unit. They come out with a stack of worksheets. It was chaos. There's limbs everywhere. Everyone's trying to grab a worksheet. Thankfully, and again, this is to the point about working with a realtor who's been around the block, who's sold pre-construction, who has the developer connections, and who comes prepared. I had my worksheet filled out the night prior. I had my bank draft, my photo ID, my client's photo ID, and my business card in an envelope ready to go. While everybody else is jumping over each other to get a worksheet, I'm handing mine finished,
moonwalk.
completed.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
Calm, cool, collected. So anyways, then they come out and they say, okay, you know what? There's over 100 worksheets submitted for 40 units. This was just in November. So same market pretty much. And they say, we're not going to actually give out any units today. We're going to take a few days to figure out how we allocate these units. And the mob goes wild.
Yeah.
People demanding, we want our $30,000 back. We're going to go on Facebook and trash the developer. Like it was truly an angry mob of people. The sales office had like security out front. They had 4 people like literally holding people back. It was nuts. So I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collected.
Let's go shoot a reel that one.
We should.
Invite us next time.
No worries. No worries. So anyways, I end up getting a call. I'm one of the first calls to give my unit selection for my client, but I had no guarantee just yet. Then when they tell everyone that we're not giving these units, everyone's demanding their money back. I casually walk up to the front. I give 4 business cards and I go to the security and I say, guys, thank you so much for your patience. You guys have dealt with the mob phenomenally. If by chance you guys have any hand in the unit allocation, please remember me as the polite guy who wasn't causing a fuss, who came prepared. Kid you not, I get a call the next day from the lady who's doing the allocations, and she said, Anthony, I knew your name and I knew but I didn't know your face. Thank God you came back with your business card. I worked so hard to find your name, and I had your business card sitting on the counter because you dropped it off. And out of hundreds of people, I was quite literally one of the first picks to get my client's unit of choice.
Nice.
So to the point about pre-con market just plummeting and everything plummeting, there's still projects there, there's still demand there, and I don't think it's going to subside anytime soon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome
But
stuff.
that was a huge
Yeah.
success story, yeah. And
Yeah, a
an
bit of a
interesting
tangent,
one.
but
He was sending
No,
us
no,
like
it's good.
videos and
It
stuff
did-
too
it's-
throughout the day.
yeah.
It was just nuts.
yeah.
I sort of love that too. That in the
Mob,
modern
yeah.
world we're in, they still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, makes it fun.
That's how it always was, right? Before
It's like the
COVID.
stock floor.
Yeah. Before
Yeah.
COVID, there was no like virtual launches. There was no submitting your worksheet through a portal. It was all in person.
Yeah.
And whoever ran to the front first got the unit. Like
Yeah.
it was very dog eat dog.
It's awesome.
Yeah. My client told me, he's like, I have my 30,000. I am not going home without a unit. If I don't get a lot, I will be very disappointed. So I'm like, I'm ready to go, elbows up. But didn't need the elbows, just needed some patience and some preparation.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good on you. That's good news. That's really good news
Yeah.
to hear that. But again, right, goes to the point, work with the pros. The pros align themselves with other pros, which would being the builders and developers in this case. Still high demand for those projects. That's awesome.
Yeah, the demand is there.
Awesome to hear. Yeah.
And then getting the pre-approvals from the pros. Shout out,
Yeah.
Mike. Thanks for that.
Anytime.
Right. It's always a pleasure working with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise. You guys are
Likewise.
awesome.
Yeah,
You guys are always there when we need you.
Yeah, right on.
Anytime you want.
Okay, we had lots of fun with the McLay team here. They're absolutely awesome. I hope you listened in. And yeah, we're definitely going to have them back time and time again and watch them evolve and grow into the absolute powerhouse that they've become. Has been nothing but a pleasure and lots of fun. So thank you very much for your time
Thank you.
today, guys.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Busy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let them know where they could check you guys out, all you.
We're all over Instagram. So I think just at Anthony Spano.
Mine's at Sue McLay Realty.
I'm a realtor, Vince Scarcelli.
Awesome.
On Instagram.
Vinny Bats. Vinny Bats.
Or Vinny Bats. Yeah. That was
We got to
Might have
change
to
the
change
handle.
the handle, yeah.
next episode.
Right on.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, share, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.